Hi everyone, welcome to our discussion today. I'm Chloe and I'm thrilled to have you all join us. Let's dive right in. So, I recently had an interesting cooking experience where I realized I was short on wheat while making a dish for neighborhood potluck. I was preparing a classic New York-style bagel, which, as many of you know, absolutely requires wheat flour. Bagels are a staple here in New York, and I wanted to make something special for the event. Wheat is a grain that's essential in so many of our daily foods, from bread and pasta to pastries and cereals. It's incredibly versatile and forms the backbone of many dishes I cook, like homemade bread, cookies, and of course bagels. Here in New York, wheat-based products are hugely popular, especially with our vibrant bakery scene. When I realized I didn't have enough wheat flour, I knew I had to get creative. Instead of just substituting another flour, I decided to make my own wheat flour. I had some wheat berries in my pantry, so I ground them into fresh flour using a food processor. It was a bit of a process, but the result was fantastic. The bagels turned out to be even better than usual, with a wonderful texture and flavor that everyone loved.
Wow, Chloe, your ingenuity is inspiring. I love how you made your own wheat flour. It must have been quite an adventure.
I agree with Sarah. Making your own flour from wheat berries is such a resourceful solution. I can imagine the fresh, wholesome taste it added to your bagels.
That's fantastic, Chloe. I can picture those bagels perfectly. Your story reminds me of how important it is to have backup plans in the kitchen.
Chloe, it's truly amazing. Your creativity really shines through. It's wonderful how you turned a challenge into an opportunity for something even better. Let's talk about what we look for when purchasing wheat. For me, a key criterion is the origin of the wheat. I usually buy wheat from local farms in Florida, especially for dishes like my homemade bread and pasta. It's crucial to know where your wheat comes from and ensure it's grown sustainably.
That's a great point, Maya. I focus on the type of wheat. I prefer hard red wheat for its higher protein content, which is perfect for baking hearty bread. In Texas, this type of wheat is popular because it gives a great structure to our baked goods. Look for the specific type that suits your baking needs.
I usually buy wheat in bulk for my gardening and cooking. The freshness is what matters most to me. I store it properly to retain its quality. In California, we have access to fresh, high-quality wheat, which is essential for making my family's favorite recipes like whole wheat bread and muffins.
I agree, Sarah. For me, it's about the milling process. I look for stone, ground wheat because it retains more nutrients. In Washington, we value organic and minimally processed foods. Stone, ground wheat is fantastic for making nutritious, wholesome baked goods.
Those are all excellent points. I also consider the packaging. I prefer eco-friendly packaging, which aligns with my efforts to reduce waste. In New York, many brands offer wheat in recyclable or biodegradable packaging. It's a small step, but it makes a difference in our environment.
In California, an alternative to wheat I often use is almond flour. It's perfect for gluten-free baking, and it adds a lovely nutty flavor to cookies and cakes. Almond flour is rich in protein and healthy fats, making it a nutritious option.
In Texas, I sometimes use cornmeal as an alternative. It's great for cornbread and tortillas, which are staples here. Cornmeal has a unique texture and flavor that sets it apart from wheat, and it's also gluten-free.
In Washington, I like using spelt flour. It's an ancient grain with a slightly nutty flavor and is nutrient-dense. Spelt is easier to digest for some people and works well in bread and pastries. It's a great alternative when you're looking for something with a different flavor profile.
In Florida, I often turn to rice flour. It's common here due to our diverse culinary influences. Rice flour is fantastic for making light and fluffy baked goods, and it's also a great gluten-free option. I love using it in cakes and cookies.
Here in New York, I sometimes use oat flour. It's readily available and adds a nice, mild flavor to baked goods. Oat flour is rich in fiber and works well in pancakes and muffins. It's another great alternative to wheat when you're looking to mix things up. To wrap up, we discussed several important points today. I shared my story about managing a wheat shortage by making my own flour. Meyer emphasized the importance of knowing the origin of your wheat. Jennifer talked about selecting the right type of wheat for baking. Sarah highlighted the significance of freshness. Emily focused on the benefits of stone ground wheat, and I mentioned the importance of eco-friendly packaging. We also explored various alternatives to wheat like almond flour, cornmeal, spelt flour, rice flour, and oat flour. Thanks to all of you for sharing your insights. Thank you, everyone, for joining our conversation today. We hope you found it informative and enjoyable. See you next time, and happy cooking!